What's happening? It's time for Daisy again. I've been looking forward to working on this car again. I just wanted to get the turquoise car done. As you see, never mind that ugly thing right there. That's a friend's car. Yeah, forget that's even there. The rear end on the turquoise car, I'm still waiting on my freaking gears to show up, which is pissing me off. Sent the eBay company like 30 messages. Where the hell's my gear? Where the hell's my gear? Just copy paste that like 30 times. Anyways, Daisy. 6.1 Hemi blown Kenny Bell of awesomeness. And full race suspension, all custom made. And this is kind of a catch up, but you know what's going on. See, I made the headers for it. Those are actually a set of used NASCAR headers that I cut up and modified and reshaped them to fit this car. And I, got the Hemi flanges and all that. And see, it's the lightweight model too. Look at that. But full road race car with the drift brake. That's actually the drift handle right there. Dash is restored. Everything's functional. Got my Joe Dirt throttle pedal. Exhaust comes out the side, as you can see. This is what I'm going to be modifying right now. This is the rear suspension that I had built for this car, but which would have been okay when the car was naturally aspirated, or when I was building it to be naturally aspirated. But now the car is obviously got a big ass chunk of shiny aluminum blower on it. So that stock rear end, it's gonna grenade. So I'm gonna yank this rear end out, and I'm gonna change the suspension. As you can see, it's a 4-link with a panhard bar, and I got a used NASCAR sway bar on it. I'm actually gonna get rid of the 4-link. I'm gonna get rid of the top 2 links, leave the lower link, and I'm gonna put a torque arm on it to try and get as much forward bite as possible out of this thing, because it's it's gonna be a low profile car, low profile tires. And it's a lot of nose weight with that blower on there, and so I want to try and get as much forward grip as possible. And this is going to be like an autocross car, so not a whole lot of bank turns or any of that stuff. Pretty much just flat track coming out of the corner. Need as much bite as possible, and torque arm is going to do that for me. So I'm going to convert this to a torque arm setup, which is a lot of work, but screw it, I need to do it. And like I said, this rear end is going to blow up, so it's going to get a 9-inch. Which I have one here. I have a Speedway Engineering 9-inch that someone had given me out of a cup car, a NASCAR. Oh, I got my engine management system. I need to wire that all up. I need to do a lot of work to this thing. I need to get this car on the freaking road already. Been working on it for 2 years on and off, which I haven't touched this car in like 8 months. I'm working on a turquoise car and other stuff, and anyways, let me show you the rear end. Alright, here's the Speedway Engineering 9-inch rear end that I have. It's actually a full floater. If you see, there's no axles in this thing, but it has hubs on it. So the hubs actually mount to, they float on the rear end with big bearings, not the little skinny axle bearings, big bearings. So they can carry more of a load. And you actually, if I snap an axle with this thing, it's not really going to affect the car. It'll still roll, because the axle slides through the hub on splines, and then it goes into the third member on splines. So you can actually take the axle in and out of the car and still have the wheel on it. There's the third member right there, but I'm going to take that third member and put it in the race car, and take the aluminum one out of the race car and put it in this, so I can put it in Daisy. Actually, yeah, there's a cool look at the front end. There's a whole bunch of work that went into that front valence. As you can tell, that is not a stock Charger valence. It's got brake ducts that look like factory turn signals. All that screen right there, I made the valence taller, filled in all those holes in the bottom of the front valence. Anyways, back to the rear end. Problem with this rear end is, well, it's a Ford 9-inch and came out of a cup car. Well, the engines in those cars are squared, so the engine sits in the center of the car. On a Mopar, the engine sits offset to the right about 1.5 inches. So I need to take this tube and lengthen it 2 1/4 inches. I'm just going to take it to a driveline place, and they're going to do it for me. Probably cost you $300 to lengthen that tube. So I'm just going to go ahead and do that, be done with it. And yeah, so I need to get on that, take that to the driveline place. Here's the gear for the turquoise car. I need to take that to the driveline place. I could build it myself, but screw it. I'm just gonna take it down there and have him do it. Yep. Good old Daisy. So you start ripping this rear end out of here, because this is gonna break. I'm actually gonna leave the e-brake setup on this rear end, and I'm just gonna build a whole new one, because I can just take this rear end and throw it in another one of my cars, and I'll have an e-brake setup for that too. See, if you look, the quarter panels are flared. Wider is better. So I had to make whole new wheelhouses, the outers. You can tell. There's an old episode I made on this YouTube channel a long time ago showing how I made that. You know, like a year and a half ago when I first started this channel. Yeah, there's my fuel cell that I made, and it still uses factory fill tube. See right there? Boom. Oh, a lot of work, lots of work, lots of money and time. Well, I'm going to take that rear end down, get that tube lengthened, and I'm going to weld some brackets to it so that way I can put my torque arm setup on there. So yeah. Ah, look at those headers. They look sweet. It was a pain in the ass to make headers for this thing, because you can't remove the inner fender to actually get space in there to work on it. And I need to drop this motor out of here. This motor is just a mock-up motor. This motor is actually going to go in Leonard's 68 Charger. I'm going to build this one for his car. And then my good motor for this thing, the 6.1 Hemi, fully built, forged internals, ported head, blah 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 blah, bunch of money later, it's going in this sucker. So I just did all this for mock-up. I mean, the day I got that blower, I ripped that sucker out of the box and mocked it all up on here just to see how pretty it looks, which I'm pretty sure everybody does that. Yeah, got my oil accumulator down there for road racing, so going through corners and stuff, I get oil slosh. That will keep the motor at constant oil supply. I had to cut this out, because if you notice, there's actually, originally here, there's a battery tray that comes out. So I cut all that out, made a new piece here. This is all new piece here that I made, shaped it to fit, so that way I can put a flat panel here for the air filter tube. Yeah, I made my firewall grommets there, or not firewall grommets, firewall bulkheads. This is actually the coolant lines for the blower, and then these tee off. These lines here actually cool the case of the blower, and then the bigger line, if you see it goes behind the blower, there's actually an intercooler under the blower. So it cools the case of the blower, cools the bearings on the blower, and then these big fat lines that go under the blower cool the air charge. Yeah, see, I know now this is illegal. You can't have the fuel pressure regulator on the firewall. Well, screw it, I'm doing it. Yeah, I had to make an adapter fitting here, so that way I can put an external oil filter on it. Yes, that's over there. Right there, yeah. I didn't like the cheesy little blower pulleys that this thing. Oh, these are so freaking cheesy. Look at this shit. All right, where is this? Oh yeah. Okay, here's the dumpster caster wheels that this blower came with. Look at this piece of shit. So yeah, this is what this came with. Solid steel dumpster caster wheels. Well, I subbed that out for some billet aluminum donked out blower pulleys, or idler pulleys. Here's the other one here. And I had a friend of mine make me new spacers, so that way these will actually fit on the car. So yeah, I got new spacers here. Those go like that. Oh. Yeah, those go like that. That way you get the full wrap around the belt. So much work has been done to this car. Turn the camera around here. Like I said, yeah, so much work has been done to this car. I forget half the shit I've done to this thing. Oh yeah, for instance, I had to cut the whole tunnel out of this car. That's a whole new tunnel that I made for this thing, because it sits so freaking low that the drive shaft was hitting the tunnel. So I had to raise the tunnel up 2 inches. Same thing with the back. That's a whole new tunnel under the back seat. Had to make that. Had to make this tunnel all from scratch, fully caged. That's actually the steering column out of one of my old Circle Track cars. And if you notice on here too, there is no master cylinder in the engine bay. I have a set of Willwood, the whole race car pedal setup out of my race car, the Willwood setup. It's all under the dash. I made brackets and everything, so it all bolts in under the dash. Let's see, what else? Oh yeah, the spoilers. I made the front and rear spoilers. Oh, there we go. Made those from scratch. Got some of my old Circle Track spoiler braces on there. That's just kind of a catch-up video, let you guys know. I should probably catch people up on stuff that I've done to this car that everybody else already knows about. You know, the old. Last time I actually worked on this car, you know, on the YouTube was probably a year and a half ago. So, which I had like maybe 500 subscribers back then. So this is gonna be new to like 9,500 of you. Yeah, I had to do a bunch of metal patching here or there. I had to put a new trunk pan in this car because it was rotted out. I had to put a new floor pan on the driver's side because it was rotted out. This car actually came from the border of Canada and Montana, I think it was. I forgot the name of the town. But I know my buddy Jesse picked it up. It was like negative 22 degrees. I'm sure he was mother effing me the whole time. But, oh yeah, I'm gonna grab my dumpster wheel here. Throw that back in the pile. But, yeah, finally getting back on this car. This old girl. Love Daisy. Can't wait to hear this sucker fire up. It's been a long time in the waiting. I actually got the rotating assembly is at the machine shop right now, so I'm gonna go pick that up. It's already done balanced. Yes, it's actually gonna happen on this. Hopefully nothing pops up. I got the money to put into this car right now, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do it, slam it out, put the 9-inch in it, and make all the new rear suspension. Because, well yeah, because this shit's gonna break, and I want as much bite as possible. Oh, I also made the whole rack and pinion set out of this car too. So let me crawl in here and show you. Turn the camera around. All right. So yeah, I had to make the whole rack and pinion setup, which I wish I wouldn't have gone this route. When actually, the sun's probably screwing you up. Yeah. So I made all the suspension. I had to modify it was a brand new $500 oil pan. I had cut it up and modify it to make it fit the rack and pinion. That sucked. I wish I would have just done the front steer conversion when I started this, but I had the stock K-frame in it, and just stupid. I should have just built a tubular K-frame, which I might end up doing that for this car. If I don't like this steering, which I don't know why I wouldn't, I'm going to just build a new K-frame. And then it has Willwood spindles, you know, QA1 coilover, double adjustables, all DOM all DOM metal, old NASCAR sway bar on there. I actually shortened the all the steering arm on the spindle for more turn radius. Let's see what else. It's got Jericho 4-speed NASCAR training in it. Right there, yep. So beefy. Got my drive shaft loop in. Let's try and suck it around. See, you got the whole fuel system's already done. There's the rear. Lots of cool shit on this thing. But oh, see, now I got to redo all the exhaust. See, I had the exhaust going back, then it would go into the muffler, turn around and come back forward and go out. Now I'm getting rid of that. Plus this is 3-inch. I'm actually going 3.5 now. I see, when I first started building this car, that's when I first got the TIG welder, so the welds aren't as pretty, so that's not satisfactory anymore. Cut all that shit out, and then we'll put new 3.5-inch exhaust in this thing with my cute little shorty mufflers that are like, oh, let me show you my mufflers real quick. Oh. They're cute. So yeah, here's my muffler. As you see, there's not a whole lot of restriction in this sucker. It's only that big. This sucker's gonna be loud. Oh, it's gonna have some sweet boom tubes. Well, I gotta get some shit done. This is just kind of let you guys know what's going on with Daisy. I'm working on it. It's getting started. Oh yeah, this quarter panel here. This is an old quarter panel. If you notice, just get back a little bit. See how it's new metal, old paint? Well, I cut this quarter panel off right here at the right at the edge, all the way down. And then this quarter panel was an old one off of a customer's car that I grafted into this. If you can see, there's no weld lines, just all just flat, smooth. So I butt jointed weld this in because the metal that was here was completely rotted. There wasn't even enough metal there to flare out. So I had to put a quarter on there just so I could flare it out. Like I said, all new interior. I have all new stuff for this thing. Let me show you my seat. There's my seat. It's a little overkill, which I'm actually going to cut the rib supports down, weld them back up. I'll probably make the halo smaller. I don't think I really need the shoulder braces. Again, out of one of the old race cars. That seat in this car is a pain in the ass to get in and out of. Once you're in it though, oh, it's comfortable. It just fits you like a glove. But then it's a pain in the ass to get out of. So, anyways, quick update on Daisy. Just letting you guys know what's going on with her, and that I am working on it again. So, see ya.